We're not a growth company. We're actually a seed company. But I guess with my impressive sales skills, I was able to find my way in here right at the last minute. So I want to tell you about our company, starting with just a story about myself, and really because we started SV Academy for our younger selves. So this is me with less facial hair, right as I was beginning my career. And here's how I saw myself. I'm a Muslim immigrant. I grew up in government housing. I didn't have any internships. I worked at McDonald's. I got fired from McDonald's. I saw people living this really great life in the tech world, but had no idea how to break in myself. And the questions I asked myself was, how was I going to do this when my dad is not a CEO? I'm not going to Stanford, and I don't think I can code or like to. And I was very, very lucky that I was able to get a break, start a company, sell it to Oracle, and that was the way that I entered the tech industry. But for a lot of people, there are really just a couple of ways. They can either start a company, like what I did, or you can become a coder. And here's the thing, starting a company, really, really hard, probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And becoming a coder, it's not for everybody. And I think this is one of the most important questions of my generation. I wonder how young people are going to start their careers in a world where, in the recent political climate, there's so many young people who are just so disenchanted and don't have hope for their lives, for their communities. I think the bottom line is that young people need access to jobs. And we believe, the answer is to train people in sales. And more importantly, let the employers pay the tuition. Now, this is the opportunities with employers hiring for sales positions is increasing. I've, of course, started in the Bay Area, but employers are increasingly hiring in lower cost centers like the Midwest. And you see a lot of the companies in my old world, in the enterprise software world, now moving to places like the Midwest. So we started SV Academy to be the single best way for someone who is not a coder to break into the tech industry. Here's a little bit about what our experience looks like. It's 12 weeks, 3 months. It's about 160 to 200 hours. It's entirely virtual. It's an internship. There's a part which is skill development training, and there's a part which is a real-world live work shifts with a public company and some of our other employer partners. I think what makes us unique and makes this founding team unique is that we've come from the enterprise software world. We've built companies. We've sold companies. This is actually, shows you sort of the landscape of some of the employers. This is one of my previous investors. And what we really help these employers with is decreasing their time to hire, so faster hiring, faster ramp up, reduced churn in a role where there are 25 to 30% annual churn for entry-level sales, and then more diversity. Our model to engage with employers is that it's free to interview and they pay to hire, which allows us, again, to make this offering entirely free for young people and allow companies to pay out of their recruiting budgets. Our go-to-market has been taking our world-class sales training curriculum virtually and combining with our employer network and partnering with schools. Very interested in talking to schools, 4-year college programs as well as junior college programs who are looking to bring more sales education to their students to drive student outcomes. Here are some of our students, Jesus, Sheena, Julian. They just graduated. We have helped them change their lives by learning new job-ready skills that are harder to automate. We've helped them start a high-paying career, in some cases 2 or 2.5x what their peers will be making fresh out of school, and doing all of this at no cost so that they can begin making money, reduce their debt load. Here's a little bit about my team. We've largely come from the enterprise software space. We have experience building, hiring, training. We have, as a team, hired over 400 sales reps and trained them. And this is how to get a hold of me. So on Twitter, you can find me at Raheem the Dream, and by email, rahim@sv.academy. Thank you, guys.